right, Doc. All messages you send appear publicly. Brother. Yo, people be real different on Snapchat, huh? People be real different. Real different. Is that what those were? What them planes was flying around, bro? When them planes was flying around? Oh, I can close this. I can close this. I don't need this either. All right, now we're on Twitch and we're on YouTube. We're gonna see how well YouTube live streaming goes. We're gonna see. We are going to see. Why is I mean, I guess Resident Evil is very popular, but I don't know, man. There's people playing Resident Evil that I didn't think would be playing Resident Evil. Let's go to overflow. We're going. Oh wait, what do I have on me? Need those and those. See those. Wipe your nose. See those. Wipe your nose. Equipment. All right, I gotta go to overflow.
Begin your run and end the runs of others.
Got some gunfire over there. Be like 800 dudes in here, yo. Oh, we got a person here. I didn't know they was gonna come out of there, man.
Trust me.
And then it takes so long to use your skill. I should just kept shooting her in the face. Should just kept shooting her in the face. I don't feel like there's any way I can make my YouTube chat, I mean, my YouTube stream come up on my phone in shorts unless I just scroll. I don't know if it's actually going to work that way. If I click here, oh, it did show up this way. Okay. Quality. Quality. Why is it in 144p? What the Oh wait, there it is. Never mind. Okay. I was about to say, bro. Like, well, it still doesn't look that great, but
System checks complete. May you operate at peak efficiency.
I can't tell where they're coming from. It might not have been. It might not have. Oh my god. It might not have even been anyone. I'm playing my phone in my headphones. What an idiot.
minutes remain.
How did my screen turn off when I'm streaming? Bro. Person down there, I think. Right there. Wasting my ult. I was watching you stream earlier on my TV, and it took up the entire TV. Did you switch to another format? Oh, you're watching on YouTube. So yeah, I did. My Twitch is on the regular thing now, and YouTube is vertical. Because I wanted to try to see if it would put it in the shorts feed, because when you have your vertical stream, it puts it in the shorts feed. But I'm streaming the regular way on Twitch. Because I'm trying to figure out whether I really want to switch to YouTube for the duration, or like for a period of time. I don't know yet. Yo, these they gotta tone down the NPC. They gotta tone them down a little bit. Oh, they go human, go person. They gotta tone them down just a little bit, bro. Like, It's too many of them, and they too chunky. Like, they took too many bullets to put them down. Because you don't have that much ammo. Like, and ammo is scarce. So, like, I think that was a human. Pretty sure it was human. Please don't be a... Limbs immobilized. I don't necessarily want to touch this laser. Okay, I can go underneath it. What? Come on, bro. Y'all gotta chill, bro. Y'all gotta chill with these robots, bro. I'm cool to be in the game, but they droll. Oh! Y'all don't even drop nothing. I had 10 minutes to get upstairs to the second floor of this building. There's no way I'm getting up there with 65 bullets. Like,
Ten minutes remain.
You see what I'm saying, yo? I'm already down to 31 bullets trying to kill this stuff. Got to be kidding me, bro. 189. Where is this extract at? It's over here. Never do I want to. It's right there. Why did it come back down here? I'm getting the hell out of here. Ain't no way, bro. What's the purpose of marathon? Is it like you have to, is it like you have you and Moot play where you guys scavenge and survive and go back home? Yeah, that's pretty much it. So it's the same thing. Marathon is the same thing as Arc Raiders. Like, it's Escape from Tarkov, it's Arc Raiders, it's the Cycle Frontier, it's all of these games, they're extraction shooters. The first, I don't know if it's definitely, but like I'm pretty sure the first extraction shooter like mode was in Division, right? So like the Division was the game me and Mook played a long time ago, and then they had Division 2. I played that, and they had a part in the game called the Dark Zone, and you would go into the Dark Zone. Like you would have to go through this like this gate, and then like there would be like a part where like you basically go through another gate, and you would go into this place that was walled off in the center of the city, and it was PvP enabled, right? So anybody you saw in there, basically you could opt to just avoid them, or you could try to kill them and take whatever they had hanging off of their back. So like when you would pick up gear, you wouldn't be able to use the gear immediately inside the Dark Zone. Like you would have it in this little yellow bag that was hanging off of the back of your character. And that was kind of like how flag football is, where you just you see the ball with the flag and you got to go snatch the flag off of them. It's kind of the same thing. It's like if you see somebody and they got a little yellow pack hanging off of them, then if you kill them, you get the yellow pack, the stuff that's in the yellow pack, and you put it on your back. And then if you find other stuff around the area, you have all this stuff in this yellow pack. And then you take that and you have to go to an extraction point, and then you put the yellow pack on this rope, and then the helicopter, when the helicopter comes down, you put the little pack on the rope, and the helicopter pulls all of your stuff that you had out, right? And then so now once you get it out, then you're good. You've extracted your loot that you got from there. And now you can like keep going or you can find the exit and leave, right? It was a little different, but then they took it to, you know, they made a whole game out of it, and then like there, I don't know if maybe Tarkov was the next one. I don't remember if there was anyone in between the Division and Tarkov, but Escape from Tarkov made it like super hardcore, where they had tons and tons of like loot, tons and tons of different items and stuff, and then you also had to worry about like, you know, it was a mil sim, it was a military simulator. So if like you got shot in the leg, or like you got, you know, your leg, you get shot in the leg, your leg goes black or whatever, you can't run, and you have to like get like a surgical kit to fix your leg, and then you heal up your leg with bandages. So like it was a little more hardcore, which is fine. Now I have Tarkov, I just never got into Tarkov, and then they started coming out with similar things to Tarkov that weren't as hardcore, so you didn't have to worry about like your legs breaking or your arms getting blacked out. I think if your torso got blacked out or your head got blacked out, I think you died. Or your torso got blacked out. I think it was if your arms got blacked out and you got shot in your arms while they were blacked out, it would spread, the damage would spread to your torso. And then if your torso got blacked out, the damage would spread to your head, and if your head got blacked out, you would die. Something like that. But then there's tons and tons of different weapons. There's, you know, attachments, you know, weapon builds and all that kind of stuff. There's tons of that stuff. And then there was another one that was called Arena Breakout Infinite that I was playing. That one is probably the closest one to Tarkov that's free to play, but it's also not as hardcore as Tarkov, but it's very close. And then so the whole, all the different like little nuances of all the different extraction shooter games is like you have guns, you have your consumables like your heals and your shields, or in certain games you have shields. In Tarkov, of course, you don't. I guess you have like, I think you have like armor plates, and like, because your armor, and so you have your armor plates, so the armor, the better your armor, the more it will mitigate damage to your body or whatever. If you go in without a helmet, then getting shot in the head is fatal, so you don't want to do that. You want to get a helmet that's going to protect your head, all that kind of stuff, right? Some games don't have like body gear. This game just has like body mods, so like you get different effects and all that kind of stuff for your character. Like let me go see what my character has on me right now. I might not have any of the body mods and stuff on right now, but like this one, it says when you're the only remaining crew member alive, your revive speed is increased. So like if you wanted to self revive or whatever, but it also has revive speed up, so like it boosts your revive speed. This implant, this takes place of like having body armor, a helmet, and I guess it's just body armor and helmet, because they don't have like pants items. So like it's just body armor, helmet, and then they have like leg implants or whatever for like movement abilities and stuff like that. All your finishers heal nearby allies a small amount. It raises your melee damage, your tactical recovery, all that kind of shit, right? Then you have your backpacks. If you want to put a backpack on so that you can carry more stuff, it gives you more inventory space. And then some backpacks will have like special abilities. It says when you stow your ballistic weapons, it slowly reloads the magazine from your inventory. So you don't have to reload. So like if you dump your mag, right, and then switch your weapon, that gun will slowly start to have ammo put back in it while your other gun is out. So if you're fighting somebody, you switch weapons, then you can switch back to your other weapon, and it's kind of like having a third weapon if you're in a gunfight. If you need like just that extra amount to basically kill whoever you're fighting, it gives you just like a kind of an advantage. This has shields, so you want to put on shields, because shields will give you more shield capacity. You want to take in shield rechargers, so you can recharge your shield. Health rechargers. You want to take in ammo. I'm gonna put this back in my thing. This I don't need. So you want to take ammo in with you to make sure you know you got the right ammo for the right gun. You can take in 2 guns if you want, and you can have heavy ammo. What else can you do? You got cores. I don't really have any cores that are that are helping me, but some cores are specific to the character you're playing. You got these different.
Don't fear the unknown.
You got these different characters that all have different abilities. This dude is like an invisible guy. This like he has invisible stuff and like smoke screens. This dude is like a medic. He helps out his teammates if you're playing on a team. Like I'm usually not playing on a team. I usually play solo most of the time. I've been playing recon this whole time. Recon just has like the ability to find enemies, has a tracker drone that will seek out like enemies and blow up on them. This trait, when you do a finisher on an enemy, it shows where their teammates are. And then this one is, what is this one again? After breaking the target shields, they leave behind a holographic trail so you can see where they went. This chick is, I don't really know what she does. She just has like movement stuff and like a disrupt cannon, so like she can push you away and then run away from you, so she's like movement based. This dude is just like the Call of Duty guy. He has rockets that he can shoot. He has boost thrusters that make him run faster. He has tactical sprint, and he has a shield. So he's just like Call of Duty guy, I guess. But yeah, you have all these different characters to play, and then you have your missions and shit. So like you have missions, and you have missions for each faction. So like all these are different factions, and then you have different upgrades for different factions. You have different missions for different factions. Certain items certain factions want, so that you can level up their reputation. The higher your reputation gets, the more stuff you can buy from them, and the more stuff you can upgrade with them, to give you boosts to how you fight people. There's a lot. Like there's a lot to these games. So, but like the main thing is you want to get your loot and get out and try to get rich. Basically try to get as much money as you can, try to get as much loot as you can, so that you can always have like the advantage on, like, try to be the best person going into the lobby based on like what your gear is. And then you all of this like, you know, decision making and stuff like that when you're in raid, so that you can go in there, do your quests and stuff, and also avoid getting killed by the other people that are also in there looting and trying to do their quests. The whole point is to loot up, do your quests, try to make it out alive. And if you can kill people, then you can take their stuff that they've been looting, or take their guns if they've got good guns, if they've got good implants, all that kind of stuff. Just take that's the kind of what this game is. It's like a battle royale, but you get to take all the items that you find in the map out of the map, and you get to bring in whatever you want to start with, and then you continue to loot and do quests. It's like a more involved battle royale style game, except you don't have to be the last person standing to quote unquote win. So like winning is just making it out of the map alive by going to an extraction point and surviving until the extraction point takes you off of the map. Like I guess that's the whole gist of like the extraction shooter. But the reason why I personally just like playing extraction shooters is the tension, where it's just like you go into a map and you don't know what's gonna happen. You don't know if somebody's gonna run up on you and beat you. You don't know if somebody's gonna like shoot you with a sniper rifle from across the map. You got to keep your head on a swivel all of the time, because somebody might see you and they're like, I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna just get the guy. I'm gonna just get him. I'm gonna take his stuff, right? But in Arc Raiders, nobody does that anymore. Like, well, I'm not gonna say nobody does that anymore, but a lot of the players in Arc Raiders are of the they just like fighting only the Arc enemies, right? They're like, oh, we're gonna band together as a unit, and that's fine, right? Like that's fine. Like everybody can band together and fight the Arc and save humanity and be humane and be nice to each other. That's great. But for the game and the way I like to play the game, it is not fun for me because I play solo and I like to sneak around, and if I see the opportunity to kill somebody, I'll take it. But and even if I lose the fight, I'll take the opportunity if I think that I'll be able to beat them, right? And because maybe they have a bunch of stuff, and then I can take their stuff and add it to my my stash and have more things to fight with going back in the next time. But everybody that I run across in Arc Raiders, because of the way I play, is friendly. So it makes the way I play irrelevant. Like it doesn't matter. I don't need to sneak around if I'm not shooting anybody because I'm in a bunch of lobbies where nobody wants to fight anyway. So it's like there's no point in me sneaking around because if they hear me, they're just gonna be like, hello? Hello? Hey man, you want to go do a quest together? And it's just like always. It's like 99% of the time that's what happens. Nobody shuts up and tries to like get the upper hand on the other person. And I can understand maybe banding together sometimes to beat certain things, but then there's always a chance that somebody's gonna backstab you. Y'all might help each other get out of this situation, and then one of y'all turn on the other one and kill them, right? Like that's just the nature of the game, right? But in Arc Raiders, everybody decided to become happy-go-lucky goody two-shoes, and they don't want to fight nobody. So it's just like it got boring. Like if I was playing with Mook and Felix or something like that, and we were playing like a trio, oh, we would run up to people and try to fight them and fight everybody all the time. In teams, everybody usually fights all the time, but like in solos where everybody is playing solo and not shooting anybody, it gets to be really boring because you go into the map, you don't worry about anybody shooting you, you run around freely, you scoop up as much loot as you can, and then you just go over to the extraction point, hit the button and be like, hey man, all right, see you guys later. And then you play 30 plus games without ever dying. Like I will play 30 plus rounds of Arc Raiders without dying, and I counted these before because I was like, when's the last time I died trying to get out? And it's usually not by a player. It's usually because I did something stupid. Or like it's usually I die because I did something dumb, or I got caught out in the open by like a rocketeer or something like that and trying to kill it, and then thinking, or then doing the wrong thing and dying from it, right? Like that's usually how I die in Arc Raiders. If I had to not count the times that I died by Arc in Arc Raiders and all the times that I've died to humans, players, I've probably played like 50 plus matches in a row without dying to another player. And it's so dumb. In this game, I've lost multiple times. I've gotten the people gotten the drop on me multiple times. I've gotten the drop on people and taken their stuff. And then after you get out of these fights, you got to make it out. Not only do you got to win the fights, but then you got to make it out of the map. So like, that's why, I don't know, I think it's fun. I think this type of game is fun because you don't have to fight, but you can fight, and there's all this decision making to be had about whether you engage your enemy or not. Sometimes in certain raids, you may not fight anybody. Sometimes you may not see anybody. Sometimes you'll see a bunch of people, and it depends on how you play. If you hear gunfire and you run towards the gunfire all the time, you're going to fight more people. But if you hear gunfire, you're like, okay, I'm going to leave that over there. I'm going to go do my quests. I'm going to go loot up. I'm going to go get some. I'm going to go, because I need to collect diodes. I need to collect this stuff down here and these biomass things, so I can trade them in for healing resources and all that kind of stuff. More actions, track. So like I didn't realize I could track stuff. That's pretty cool. But I already know I need biomasses, so I don't really have to track them, but I know I need biomasses. Like I would probably track these if I was looking for them for a quest. But outside of that, I know I need unstable biomass for heals. These are for heals. You trade them in for heals. These you trade in for, I think it's ammo. These you trade in for shields. I think shield charges. Yeah, unstable diodes you could trade in for shield charges. These unstable biomasses you trade them in for heals. Then you got gunmetal for bullets. Gel, the unstable gel for these cartridges for guns, for your Volt guns, I think. Unstable lead is another ballistics ammo for heavy ammo. So this is all also about like knowing what items are what, and trying to unlock all of this stuff so that you can have access to buy whatever you need from the people who what do they call them, the traders and stuff like that. So that's my long-winded rant about about extraction shooters. My long-winded rant about extraction shooters. Stuff got attachments. Like I'd rather know that I could lose and lose a lot, because like if I shoot somebody, they'll fight me back. So far, I've only ran into one person who I shot at and he ran from me. He was like, please, no, I don't have anything. But then he ended up killing me later while I was trying to hunt him down, because I ran out of bullets shooting the other NPC enemies. And then when I heard his footsteps, I was like, I only have 7 bullets. So I was like, well, I guess I just lost this fight because I wasted all my ammo shooting the other stuff. That's what one thing I think they need to tone down is the UESC enemies, like the PvE enemies, because they just take way too many bullets to kill. They take way too many bullets to kill. I don't know how many bullets would be good for I don't know how many bullets would be good for them to die from, but I find when I start, or just have less of them in certain areas, like sometimes you shoot one and they just swarm you. You're sitting there like fighting off a bunch of them, and by the time you're done fighting them all off, you don't have any ammo left, and then somebody gets to drop on you, and it's like nothing you can do. You can't even fight them back because you ran out on all your ammo trying to stay alive, fighting the other enemies. I'm not even gonna deal with that building because I don't need anything from that building anymore right now. Where am I supposed to be going? Overflow, right? Yeah. What is that red thing? I don't think that has anything to do with what I'm supposed to be doing. It's just another thing for me to deal with. Like, shooting that thing out the sky. Like, it's just too much. Somebody's calling down a supply drop. See if I can get him. God damn it. And it's not like I can get away. I don't have a self-revive. I tried. But I got killed by somebody else. I don't even think that was the same guy that shot me. I think that was a different dude. Why does my computer keep going to sleep while I'm streaming? My computer, I swear my computer wasn't doing this before. Maybe, oh, you know what? It probably is. Maybe it's because I don't have this open. Am I not streaming to Twitch? I'm not. I thought I was streaming to Twitch. I never hit the go live button on Twitch. I just hit live on YouTube. That's fine. It's fine. It's whatever, man. I thought I hit the button. That I've been streaming for a little while now on YouTube. That's not what I'm playing, though. That's what I'm playing. This is actually mad hard. Like, this is mad hard. This, just getting this mission done. I'm gonna beeline it. I'm gonna beeline it straight for overflow, second floor, or just beeline it over there and see how many bullets I get pelted by while trying to get into the building with the enemy shaking me down while all of their units converge on me after killing one. No wonder my computer was going, because I wasn't streaming. That's why. If my computer was streaming, oh well, it was, if it was streaming on the mainstream, it wouldn't. My computer wouldn't go to sleep. Yo, he got a V2 model. Very similar to what I would want mine to look like.
Systemic memory audit. Cross-referencing past runs. Previous failures may inform your strategy for future success.
Of course it will. Oh! I'm so mad, dog. I just need to finish this quest. I just need to finish this quest. Yo. I'm mad I just got stabbed, dog. How much damage did that do? Nah. I slid around this corner And bro was sitting in my face, dog. Like, where's my dude? Dude, I slid around this corner, bro. He was sitting right there. Dog. One, two, stab. How did he beat me with a knife? They made it seem like the knife versus the PvE enemies is trash. It's trash. The knife versus humans must be crazy. Now I'm curious. Deluxe profile background.
The colony ruins teach lessons. Premature expansion is a symptom of hubris.
Bro.
Recall window will remain stable for 20 minutes.
Tunnels, office key. Like, did I have to? No, I guess not, but how do I get up there? Itchy stuff. Fuck.
Matter transfer complete. Cognitive functions are fully operational.
Just like not even saying stop making them, just like throwing it all from my studio into the game. Well, uh, I I don't know, man. Man, if you're in here, I said I every when I say that you can't you can't learn without failing first. That's literally like something I live by. Of course there's nuance to it, but you you literally, if you think about it, to get good at doing
20
something,
minutes remain.
you have to fail. You have to have a bunch of fails in order to get better, because then you have to learn from your failures. So like if you have a company and you want to make a game, I feel like you would have to make some games, right? Especially if you're a new company and you're a new gaming company and you don't have anything in your past, nothing in your history. And then you're like, I'm going to come out with an extraction shooter because that's what everybody's coming out with now. You're probably going to fail. Your game's probably going to fail unless it has some like, unless it goes viral or something, because like some streamers are playing it and then they just find it fun and then a bunch of other people start playing it. If it goes viral and it pops off, great, you got lucky. But in most cases, people make these games. There are probably millions of games out there that have failed, that are failing right now because they tried something. Just like High Guard, right? They made High Guard, but they were a company that had a good history. They made a new studio. They put out this new game of something new that they wanted to try, and they really believed in it, because I feel like they just had their whole head up their ass, because they're like, we made Apex Legends, we made Titanfall, everybody loves those games, how could we possibly fail? And then they learned how they could fail. They made this game, they made wrong decisions about how to market the game that they thought would be the greatest decisions ever, and they've learned to not do whatever they did this time with this game and with the marketing. They failed and they learned. They made a bunch of bad decisions and then blamed it on content creators for not liking the game. The content creators did the same thing with Marathon when they showed Marathon and they didn't like it. But Marathon put their heads down, kept working on the game, and they were like, we still gonna put it out. They still put the game out. Bungie is another company that has history behind them of games that people love. But that doesn't mean they're all gonna love this game automatically. So they had to learn from a bunch of mistakes that they made. They had to learn from all of the feedback and stuff. And they just put it out anyway. They're gonna put it out. It's coming out on Thursday or Friday. I intend to buy it, and it's crazy because I didn't intend to touch this game, because when I first saw it, I was like, I don't know, bro. I was like, I don't know. And then a bunch of stuff that they were saying was not ringing well with me, dog. I was just like, it don't look good. It don't look like they are trying to put in things that people who want to play extraction shooters would want in the game. And I'm like, if y'all go and make an extraction shooter for people that like extraction shooters, y'all need to put stuff in the game for people that like extraction shooters. Not put stuff in the game for people who don't like extraction shooters and are trying to and who are trying to get to like extraction shooters, because you're not guaranteed that those people are going to like your game. But the people who play extraction shooters, if you put extraction shooter things in the extraction shooter game, the people will at least try your game. A whole lot of these people who don't like extraction shooters, who are playing extraction or trying to play this game, don't understand how it works. They don't understand the appeal. None of it. So, oh my God. I'm dead.
Connection collapse in 50 minutes.
I got 1 minute before I can do that again. It's just be like, well, I'm like, I guess I should just quit. Like there's so many times I've been sitting here streaming or trying to make content or trying to continue to just do this because it's fun and trying to find a game that I really want to play and stream for a long period of time. And I just continue to fail. And I don't know how to not fail. I don't know how to not fail at doing this, but the more I play and the more I like do the content thing, like the better at it I become, sort of. Like I feel like the only thing I'm missing is trying to I don't know how to get people to watch me. I don't know how to do it. If I have people watching me, I can entertain people. I don't know how to entertain people without having people to entertain. Like I don't understand how I don't know how anyone who is a creator of anything can't understand when I say you have to fail to learn. Other people that don't create things, maybe, or that don't think about this stuff, but to create things, you have to fail to learn. But what I was saying, you were saying that, oh, you put everything that you had into this game that you wanted to make, but now your studio is gone. And it's like, that's like a risk. It's a risk you got to take, because either you got to decide what type of game you want to make, and then you have to do the research on what makes people want to play that type of game. And even then, you're not guaranteed that everybody's going to latch onto the game. It could be the marketing, it could be the people that were playing it, it could be that your game was around a different game, or it was the wrong timing for the game. It could be any number of variables that could cause your game to fail and cause your studio to fail or whatever. But like, you have to take the risk. Like, you can't just not take the risk. And it's like, okay, well, let's not make an extraction shooter because the extraction shooter is not guaranteed people to like it. Nobody's guaranteed to like any of these games, like any of them. Like, you could put out like, people have tried to copy Call of Duty. They tried to put out another Call of Duty. People try to put out Call of Duty killers, and they fail because they're just not Call of Duty, right? Like, people complain about Call of Duty all the time, and every time a new Call of Duty comes out, it's almost like it's getting worse and worse, and nobody wants to like the game. But then there's nothing else that really competes with what Call of Duty is. So then, there was a couple of games that came out that was like Call of Duty, or they tried to be like Black Ops. They were fun games, but eventually everybody goes back to play Call of Duty. Call of Duty put out an extraction shooter, DMZ, and the only reason why anybody plays DMZ is because it's part of Warzone. And I don't even like DMZ. DMZ to me is an ass extraction shooter. It's garbage. I played it and I was like, this ain't it. I was happy that Call of Duty was making an extraction shooter. I was like, it's gonna be a AAA extraction shooter. That's gonna be nuts. They made it. They didn't put nothing in the game. They did not put any effort into that joint, and it's ass. But it doesn't matter because it was a game mode tucked inside of their own game. I think I'm misinformed, but it makes no sense to me to create another extraction shooter and invest years and a ton of money into it. People stop playing it after 3 weeks. If they can afford that, then there's no issue. I'm assuming and probably wrong, but they can't cause I'll see an article that how the studio gone, and I'm like, why y'all do that? Well, if you have a studio and your studio failed doing an extraction shooter, which is the popular genre, then either y'all did something wrong in the extraction shooter genre for people not to play it, because there's been a bunch of extraction shooters that people have played that like the Psycho Frontier. That's a good example of a studio that's not around. It's Jaeger, I think it was Jaeger Studios or whatever. They made a game that wasn't an extraction shooter, and then they morphed it into an extraction shooter because nobody was playing the game. Like nobody was playing the game that they made. And I played the first iteration of their game, and I was just like, it was like, it is what it is. It was kind of like an extraction shooter. It was like you went down to the planet to do quests and to I think like harvest like resources and stuff like that, and then you had to get to the ship before before the storm would kill you guys, and it would be a bunch of people on the map. But the problem was that there was one ship for you to get on, and everybody had to get on the same ship, and you had to trust everybody not to kill each other. But everybody would always try to kill each other. But you didn't get nothing from killing anybody. You just got points. It was like a leaderboard or something like that. It was weird. It was like they tried to make a new genre of like shooter or whatever, and I don't think it really worked out. So then they changed the game and turned it into an extraction shooter after like Tarkov existed, because Tarkov, people can keep complaining about Tarkov, but Tarkov is the only one of its kind that's a milsim that is like that was like kind of like made extraction shooters more popular, right? And then you have Arena Breakout Infinite copied off of Tarkov almost to a T, like, and they're alive. They're a free-to-play game, and they're alive and kicking. That game is good. And then they have what other game? There have been games that are not even extraction shooters that were just like, what is this? I don't remember if there was some like cartoony looking Fortnite looking game. I forget what the game was called, but it seemed cool, but it just never caught on. It just never caught on because it was just, I don't know what it was. That studio's probably gone, but it's people. I don't even know how to like put this in words. There's so many different variables that could just make your game fail. It's not because of extraction shooters. It's just people just don't make the type of game that somebody wants to play. Or the other thing is that they make a game and they make an extraction shooter, but they don't put any of the things in it that people want in that type of game. And they're like, oh, we're gonna do our own thing and not do anything of the game that we're copying off of, and then expect everybody to latch on to it. That's dumb to me. Just like how like what games did this? It was the Marvel superheroes game. You remember the Marvel game, the Marvel Avengers game that Veda likes? That game was copying off of Destiny. But they didn't want to say that they were copying off of Destiny, and they didn't do any of the good things that Destiny did, but you can tell they were copying off of Destiny. They even went so far as to have gear and stuff that you can have for your characters, but they didn't show the gear. But in the intro to the game, all of the characters had this gear and stuff on that didn't exist in the game. You could get gear and all the gear was invisible. Instead of making the costumes that they have gear, because they had all these different costumes, all these different colorways, and instead of making those maybe a piece of gear that you could put on, I even had a better idea for the way they wanted to do gear, and just have it be like excerpts or columns from like comic books that you collect, and use the comic book like blocks from the actual comics, put those in the game as the gear that you equip, and have rare ones and legendary ones, and it will be something cool to collect in the game. But they didn't do anything like that. The characters looked ugly. The game was boring. It was just like, what are y'all doing? Y'all are just trying to cash in on Avengers, because Avengers Endgame just, it was like that era, and they were like, oh, let's capitalize off of people missing Avengers because it's over. It's just like, you gotta keep making the games. You gotta keep making them. Somebody gotta make them. If nobody makes them, then we just get nothing. That's what Mook was saying. It was like, if you don't believe in making an extraction shooter, and you don't think your company can make an extraction shooter, don't make an extraction shooter. But the companies that believe that they can make an extraction shooter that people want to play are going to make the extraction shooters. Once everybody thinks, oh, we can't do it anymore, then they'll stop. But as long as there's an extraction shooter or a few extraction shooter that a ton of people consistently play all the time, there are going to be people that try to make another extraction shooter. Like it's like they're seeing money getting pumped into somebody's account, because they're like, oh, they keep making this type of game, and these people are playing this game, so we should try to do it. And that's the risk. You're going to take that risk. That's the only, you have to take the risk. It doesn't matter what it is. That's what I was saying. I don't know if I finished typing the message, but I was like, it's the same thing with music. I'm gonna die. I've never been here. It's after the thing goes down, but it's the same thing with music. You have to make a ton of music before you find out whether people like your music or not, or how to make your music better. You can't just stop. The only way they stop making extraction shooters is if some new style of game comes out and everybody starts playing that. And then everybody will stop making extraction shooters and everybody will start making that thing, and the same thing is going to happen. It's going to be a bunch of those type of games that come out. It's going to be a bunch of people not playing the game, or it's going to be a bunch of the games coming out, and it's going to be a bunch of games that people are not playing. God damn, bro. Somehow I made it out. Somehow I made it out. Another thing about the studios being gone is it's usually not them shutting the studio down themselves because their game failed. It's their publisher pulling funding or something, or it's like, oh, Sony, they were underneath like Sony PlayStation, or they were under like Activision, or they were under some other publisher, and they were like, oh, y'all game failed, y'all game didn't make us no money, so we just gonna get rid of y'all whole studio instead of just trying again and with a different game. Like, it's like if your game don't sell gangbusters, they just close your studio. It's like even if you just like there's been games that like Riot has made that didn't do as well as they would have liked, but they didn't shut down the studio, or they didn't kill the game off or anything, because it's like people still play the game. It just didn't do as well as they wanted it to. Like, but you gotta try stuff. If you don't try stuff, you'll never find out what the right mix of things are. Like, if you got extraction shooters and it's like, okay, well, how can we get more people to like extraction shooters without alienating the people who already like extraction shooters? The same thing with BR. You see, people are not really making more BRs. There's not new BRs coming out because that's not the thing right now. There's a bunch of BRs that came out. That was the same thing. It was you had the first BRs that was like what World War Z. It's kind of like it wasn't World War Z. It was what the fuck was it called? It was one of those, something similar to that. I forget exactly what it was called, but they had some type of BRs that were made, and then other companies started making these BRs, or they started turning their games into BRs. Like there was a game that was a Overwatch knockoff, right? Hero Shooters doing the same thing. Hero Shooters was coming out, and then Overwatch came out, and then people started making Overwatch clones, and then there was the BR craze, and then there was a company that made a knockoff Overwatch that was doing okay. It wasn't doing as good as Overwatch, but like it lasted a really long time. People might still play it. They continued to give it updates for a really long time, and just because the game didn't do that well, they just kept iterating on the game, and people liked it, and I guess they kept playing it. I would play it every now and then, but it was just an Overwatch knockoff. And then they took that game and they made it into a BR. They didn't get rid of their Overwatch knockoff. They just had another game. They used the same assets, and they made a battle royale because Fortnite was blowing up. And then people played that for a few minutes. They didn't really do much with that. I think that game like died off. But they was going to try it because they was like, well, our one game is doing all right. Maybe we could make that game, and that game will do okay. It'll make us a little bit of money. Like, it's just, you gotta try. Like, as soon as you stop trying, if everybody were to stop trying at the same time, then then all the people who are playing the game suffer. You just quit. I don't know, maybe I've been doing content stuff too long and been failing over and over and over and over and continuously failing and getting better at doing different little stuff, improving what I do, but still failing over and over and over again. But the only reason I really think I'm failing mostly is because I just don't have enough time to keep up and to devote to putting out, consistent content like every day. Like, I'm gonna have to figure out something else to do, because when I started putting out content every day, it was like a COVID boost too. It was a COVID boost. I also wasn't working, and I was able to make a schedule around streaming without stress. Like, but now I be coming home from work and I be tired. So it's just hard. Like, it's just hard to continue going and keep going. And it's just like, well, this is what I normally do, so I'm gonna just keep doing it. I ain't got nothing else to do. Like, that's crazy. I don't remember the opening to Rush Hour, dog. That's crazy. He blasted the two people in the front seat and the girl was in the back. Why did they kidnap this little girl? I don't. They taking her. That's crazy. I can't. I'm not gonna say that. That's wild, dog. Why are they kidnapping this little girl, dog? Challenge recon. Use the recon shell's tactical ability, track a drone 50 times. just like fighting games, yo. Fighting games, they can look at all of the Smash Brothers clones. People kept trying to make Smash Brothers. It was like they were trying to beat Smash. Nobody wasn't beating Smash Brothers. Y'all need to make something that's not Smash Brothers and try to make something different. But why would you try to make something different when everybody's playing Smash? They're like, we gotta figure out how to get people to play our game if they're playing Smash, not realizing there's many different reasons why people play Smash and not play any other platformer. Characters. The characters. People want to play the characters. Like, people come up with a Smash clone and then be having these characters that have no personality, thinking they have personality but have no personality, or not iconic looking at all. Like, and they're just characters and they just have moves and you're just like, all right, character's fun to play, I guess, but it ain't Smash though. It ain't Smash though. I don't know who this person is. What? What is this? The entire history of marathon. It's 15 minutes long, so it just must be talking about. This video may potentially trigger seizures for people with photosensitive epilepsy. Viewer discretion is advised. Jake the Alright. The entire history of marathon. 1 year ago. Okay, this is not what I was looking for. This is not what I thought it was. This was posted a year ago.
Given the strain of tragedy.
Okay, no, that's not what I thought it was, so I'm chilling. Marathon is good. Y'all just being weird. Mint Blitz, they changed everything.
Hello,
Tell me what they
everybody.
changed. Explain to me what they changed.
Has finally arrived. Bungie's Server Slam went live at 9 AM Pacific time today, and I have sunk 7 hours into the game already. Today, I'm going to go through my first impressions, the good, the bad, my brutally honest thoughts, if you want to call it that. Today, we're going to talk about the economy, your shields, your health, your ammo, solo queue. We're going to talk about how the game seemingly aims for you. It seems like there's very high aim magnetism on both KBM and controller. We are going to talk about the meta, the best class to use, the best weapon to use, and I want you guys in the comments to tell me if it's a scumbag move. We're also going to talk about the factions, the AI, what you should do to level quickly. Today I'm going to sum up my first thoughts with the game. I'm also going to talk a little bit about what other people are saying. Let's not waste any time, let's get into the video. So Bungie's Marathon is an extraction shooter. If you're a FPS, a first-person shooter fan like myself, and you're starting out on Marathon, there is definitely a learning curve there. From playing, say, Destiny 2 PvP or even Halo, death means very little. On the other hand, if you die in Marathon, you lose everything. All of your gear, all of your...
I find it so crazy that people who play Destiny for so long, like, haven't even looked into what Marathon is. Or when people hop on to Marathon, they think that Marathon is supposed to be like a new type of Destiny or a new type of looter shooter where you're going to have a build and you're going to run through the game with the same build and level up and never lose your weapons or what. I don't understand. Like, how could you even think that an extraction shooter is that? Even if you haven't played it, there have been enough extraction shooters that have been like permeating the world that like you would have heard it a little bit, because like if you've ever heard of what a battle royale is, I feel like they would have at least known what a battle royale is and know that extraction shooter is similar to a battle royale, more similar to a battle royale than it is to a looter shooter. Like I don't get
The
it.
weapons in an instant gone. The flip side to that, I think people forget this, but I am seeing frustration across the board here. If you die and lose all of your weapons, that also means you can quickly get it back the other way around. Many times, out of curiosity, I was wondering how a new player would fare if you were going up against people with veteran level gear. I am happy to say if you're just starting out and you catch them off guard, yeah, you can kill people very easily. You really have to be on your guard at all times because the time to kill is actually fairly fast, and that's with an assault rifle. The pre-emerging meta, and I predicted it about 3 months ago, and I'll admit I've been absolutely taking full advantage of it, I have been combining active camouflage with smoke grenades and a 2-tap shotgun. Nobody can counter this. I don't care how good you are in the world, if I find you in close quarters, I drop a smoke grenade so you can't see, I can activate my own active camouflage ability, and I have my trusty sawn-off shotgun, you are dead. We are going to talk about factions in a little bit.
But you
Basically,
can't
one
see
of
them
the
either. I
factions
mean,
gives
do
you
what
the
you do.
shotgun. In fact, it gives
Do
you
what
the
you
shotgun
do.
multiple times, and then once you reach level 7 in that faction, you can buy it whenever you like. The biggest thing I noticed coming from a first-person shooter background is, especially solo queue, it can be really rough. Some players play like rats. They never move around, they sit in a corner. I feel like that's going to be a main complaint that may turn some people away, but if you're going into Marathon thinking it's going to be like a first-person shooter, you are going to be disappointed.
What I don't understand is why people complain about people being quote unquote rats. Like I feel like I have a different definition of a rat than most people do. I mean, I guess it's similar, but like to me, you're ratting if, I don't know, you literally don't loot anything and you're not moving around the map ever, and you literally just sit in one spot the whole raid and wait for somebody to walk by, right? But the problem is that everyone calls people a rat when they pop out from behind a corner, right? Like it's very hard to tell. It's actually not very hard to tell. I don't know. It depends on the situation. But like if you're ratting, if somebody is ratting, it's like they're probably gonna lose the fight, really. Like, I don't know, they're probably gonna lose the fight. Usually I feel like if people are ratting in a game like this, it's like, oh, they're gonna hide, but they're just probably not going to say anything, or they're trying to stay away from you. Because that's the other thing. It's like if you run around a corner, like this earlier today, I was running from NPCs. I ran and slid around the corner, and a guy was literally sitting right around the corner. Now, any other person would have been like, "Oh, this guy is just a rat," and I'm like, I don't think he was ratting. I think he heard me, right? He heard me, and he came cautiously to look around the corner to see what was going on, and was deciding whether he was going to engage me in a fight or not, right? And it's like, why would you not make the fight as in your favor as you possibly can if you hear somebody? So if you hear somebody, of course, the first thing you do is stop moving so that they don't hear you, and see if you can still hear their footsteps. Because once they can't hear your footsteps anymore, because you're not moving, but you can hear them walking around, now you can kind of hear what direction they're in. You can kind of like gauge where they're going to come out at, and try to catch them off guard to kill them, so that you don't get killed by them first. Like, that's what it is. It's like I think in most cases, people will be running around all the time, not being cautious, not moving slowly, not having their head on a swivel, and then when somebody surprises them and jumps out from behind a door and just lasers them down, and they're just like, "Oh my god, this guy's a rat, he was hiding in this room." And it's like, well, you were running around the building, not even worried about anybody, not even worried about looking to see if there was anybody around, not even like kind of clearing rooms or clearing areas to make sure that nobody was there, which is why I'm playing recon. That's why I play recon, so that I can use the abilities to clear rooms and clear areas. So I don't have to worry about it as much, somebody hiding, because if you bring the right equipment, then you don't have to really worry too much, because they have things in this game that'll allow you to ping people's locations. And like, if you think somebody's hiding in a corner, then you can throw a grenade or a ping grenade, like a location pinging grenade or whatever, into a room, or you just throw grenades into a small room. If you think somebody, or you saw somebody run into the room and hide, you throw a grenade in there, they gotta move. Or you throw the ping thing in there, you gotta move. Or you throw what is it, like a location beacon thing down. It's a little bubble, and then anything inside the bubble will ping its location. Like, there's ways to find people in this game, and ways to kind of counter ratting and stuff like that. It's ways to counter that stuff, but it's gonna happen because of the nature of the game. You can take everybody's loot, so why wouldn't there be people that go, I'm gonna hide and I'm gonna wait for somebody to walk by, I'm gonna shoot them, and I'm gonna take their stuff? Why wouldn't people be doing that? You have to watch out for people that do that, because they're going to be those type of players. Some people don't like playing that way because it's too boring to play that way. But it might be optimal to play that way for some other people. They might be like, all right, I don't want to run up and try to gun somebody down and have a fair gunfight. I want to make the gunfight as unfair for them as possible, so that I don't even have to fight them. I just kill them. Like, that's how this works. And if you go into an extraction shooter thinking that that's not going to happen, then maybe you shouldn't be playing extraction shooters. Like, it's just to complain about ratting in an extraction shooter is crazy, because half the time people are going to rat anyway. And it's not even, I'm not even going to say it's called ratting. Like, people are going to hide anyway, because it's like, all right, I don't want to fight this guy. I probably can't beat him, especially if they know they're not good at fighting people. But they were like, okay, I can sneak somebody and kill him. I'm not good at fighting people. I'm not good at movement. But if I catch him off guard, I can use my abilities and use my guns to get the upper hand in a fight, and maybe kill him before they have a chance to turn around or find me, or shoot back or whatever, right? Or they can shoot back, but by that time they're almost dead anyway, right? That's how this works. And it's like, that's what kind of the draw of the game is. It's like, if people who gamble should be pretty good on doing that. It's like, you gamble some of your own gear or a free kit or whatever. You gamble with your own gear. You gamble in your own gear versus other people to try to take what they have and extract with as much of their stuff as you can with your stuff. And then you have free kits, which is a gamble on you're good enough to either beat somebody who doesn't have a free kit, or you're gambling on the fact that you're going to get some gear and consumables and stuff like that in the raid that you can use to sustain yourself through the raid, and maybe find another gun and more ammo so that you can have a better chance of getting out with the free kit and making that free kit make you money. But it's like, that's extraction shooters. That's extraction shooter. I don't know why it's like complaining. I don't know, complaining at Call of Duty that you can. I don't know. People complain. People at Call of Duty anyways. People used to complain about people in Call of Duty hard scoping. Like, oh, he holds his aim button down while he's using a sniper rifle. That's because he don't know he not that good, and he don't quick scope. So he be hard scoping. Yeah, why you gonna hard scope? You because calling it cheating and shit. Like, what the hell? How you gonna call hard scoping like cheating or exploit? Like, how are you gonna get mad at somebody holding down the aim button on the sniper rifle, and then they see you and then shoot you, and then you tell them, oh, he a hard scoper? That used to get on my nerves. It used to get on my nerves so bad. I'm like, what is wrong with y'all? Y'all complaining about something that is an actual thing. And then people would be like, oh, well, you know, it's supposed to be realistic. You think people don't? You think people that use a sniper rifle do this? Do you think they do that when it's like, oh, it's a person down here? No, they aim with the freaking thing. Like, what is this? Like, what is wrong with y'all? People will find any reason. What? Right. I didn't know that knives did that much. What?
Now, if you are trying out Marathon and I'm a Halo-centric channel, this is what you should do to level up quickly so you have an advantage over everybody else. Completing contracts on Marathon is kind of like how you level up. There are 6 factions, each with their own different style, and by the way, I love these factions. They all have their unique soul, they all have their unique personality, the challenges themselves aren't too hard to complete, which is very good, and there's one to fit each of your playstyles. From some factions where you're straight vandalizing Tau Ceti, others you have to loot and shoot, others will have you defeating the AI, I'm going to talk about in a second, and then there's one, the one I mentioned before, called Arachne. Arachne is basically straight up murdering other players. One thing Bungie did very, very well is the factions, how they look, their soul. The only real downside I have with the factions at all is the menu. The menu can be quite overwhelming for a new player. There's like 20 different font types. Overall, it's very cluttered and not streamlined. I get that Bungie are going for this like new age, techno, sci-fi look, but it is a little bit busy and it probably should be turned down a little bit. Also, while I'm going on random tangents on
I don't have any problem with it.
There are plants that poison you and they are far too strong. They do 75 damage, which is 3/4 of your health, and it lasts for 12 seconds, and heals are very hard to come by. Often I found myself dying to a plant.
Hell yeah, I got hit by 2 of them plants, and then I was looking for heals and I found them, and then somebody killed me. As soon as I started the match, I ran into 2 of these plants, dog. I was pissed. Oh my god, I was pissed.
Are hidden very, very well. I can't believe I died to a plant more than players, but here we are. Now, as I just said, heals and shields can be very scarce. They are quite expensive to buy, and even as someone who is defeating a lot of players and taking their own health and shields away, so I'd kill them and loot them, I was still running out quite regularly. In regards to ammo count,
Yeah, I think that the depleted health doesn't heal enough. Like, the depleted health kits don't heal enough. It's not these. These heal a nice chunk of your health, but the depleted ones don't heal enough. They might as well, they're so useless, and it's not enough. I feel like there's not enough of them around where I could just be picking up a bunch of depleted heal kits and then using them all at one time to get my health back to 75% damn near. Like, I feel like maybe the depleted heal kits, they heal you. Nah, I'm not gonna say they should heal you up to 50%. Kind of like how shields work on Fortnite, where you can only heal with a small small shield potion up to, I think it's 50 or 75%, or 50 or 75 shield, and then after that you have to use a big pot. I think it's 50%, but after that you have to use a big pot to get to full. But I think, I don't know, I feel like those depleted ones should heal more than they do. I don't know if they heal. I don't know if they heal 20%, but they should heal like. They feel like they heal like 10 or 15% of your health. I feel like they should heal like 20 to 25% of your health, and then the orange ones right here maybe heal 50% of your health, and then the ones above it heal you maybe 75 to full or something like that. Like something that like that, because like the shield rechargers are fine. Like the depleted shield rechargers, they heal 1 block. It doesn't matter whether the block is longer or if it's a short block. It heals 1 block of shield. And then the green ones heal your shield to full. So I'm like, the depleted health things don't seem to really help at all. And it's like, I'm probably gonna like, I would use them and then probably throw them in the trash. Like, I mean, they do get auto sold, but like throw them in the trash for like picking up other stuff. Like, it's, I don't know, they just don't heal
I
enough.
saw some other people having quite big issues there, but I myself didn't have any at all. As a very quick side note, by the way, and I don't know why video games do this, I am locked to only versing Australians. Now that actually equals a very different experience to other people who play from, say, America. Australia on the whole has a much smaller population, and they are very good. I've seen it in Call of Duty, I've seen
They got a smaller population and they are very good. He was like, I am tired of playing against these people. They are so good. I need to play people that I could beat.
in Battlefield, I've seen it in Halo. The average gamer in Australia are cracked out nerds, myself included. Because of that, I've seen pre-emerging metas come out right away. For solo queue, it is a bit rough right out of the gate. There is a lot of ratting, a lot of people hiding in corners, a lot of people just listening for sounds.
But why? That's not. Listen. I guarantee you that there are not people that most of the people that you run into that are doing that. I just talked about this earlier. I guarantee you that most of those people are not just sitting there the entire time. They stop moving when you come into the area because they're like, I hear footsteps. So if you hear footsteps, why would you continue to run around and give away your own position when somebody is giving their position away to you? Why? It seems like an obvious thing that if you run into an area loud, trucking along, or you start shooting something near somebody and then run into a building, do you think that they are going to just run around, pitter-pattering their feet all over the place? Or they're going to stop moving and try to listen for where you are? That makes sense, right? That's not ratting, that's being smart. And it's like they're not necessarily just hiding in a corner for GP. They're not just chilling in the corner, just like, oh, I'm gonna sit in the corner and I'm gonna go surf the internet until I hear somebody walk by. Like, that's not what is going on. You'll be running around doing stuff, or you'll see somebody in a window. Either you go toward them or you have to go over there anyway because you need to go over there for a quest. And then you're like sitting downstairs waiting. And I'm literally a few matches ago, I was sitting under a building, under the building that I had to go to the second floor. I was sitting underneath the building because there were so many NPC enemies that I'm like, I can't really do much. I'm trying to figure out where they're all at so that if I can figure out where they're all at, then maybe I can have a chance to try to kill them one by one so that I can get past all of this. But by the time I kill them all one by one, somebody has heard me and they hear me fighting over here. They've come over here and now they're going to third party me and I have no bullets. That's my issue. But I don't think people are literally just ratting just to rat. They are they're listening because that's what you have one life. You have one life. Why would you not try to make it in your favor? Of course you're going to listen to where people are coming from. You have one life. You're not going to respawn and then dive back down and then get revenge on that person and just run around and just bum rush them. You have to take into account where you are, where the exits are, where they're gonna come in, what doors they're gonna use, maybe. Like, are they downstairs? Are they on the floor that I am? You're gonna turn around and listen, like, are they coming from the left or the right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that makes sense, so you can assess the situation so that you can have a better chance at winning the gunfight, rather than just running around and hoping that you run into them. I don't understand. People have been playing Apex Legends too long, or where people literally where they literally find a hole up in somewhere where they're not supposed to be and just sit there for the entire match, and just when somebody runs by, they gun them down and then they hop back up into the rafters and wait. Like that's ratting. I think people played Apex Legends too much and they just equate everything to ratting rather than just what actually is ratting and what is being smart in assessing a situation that you're in. Like, so it's so dumb. Like, it's so dumb. What are you supposed to do? Are you supposed to just run around the whole time? Like, I don't.
They'll hold up in one point of interest, they'll wait with their shotgun, at least I actively move around when I use mine,
So you just, what you're saying is, I'm sorry, Minty Blitz. I'm sorry, man. That just sounds dumb to me. It sounds like you said at least I move around when I use my shotgun. So when you have a shotgun, you just be in the building shuffling around. You hear somebody coming and you just start shuffling around upstairs to make it fair for them so that they hear that you're there with your shotgun. Do you also hop on proximity chat and tell them how much life you got and how many bullets you got in your magazine and what your loadout is, so they know how to fight you? Like, do you do that too? Because, like, it doesn't make any sense for you to say, oh, at least I move around when I have my shotgun, so I'm not sitting in one spot, and then when they come by, I blast them. Well, if you walk into a building, you generally want to clear the rooms. You want to make sure there's no one there. You don't want to just. I do it too. I walk into a building, but generally it's because it's the building that I spawn next to. And if I spawn next to that building, I'm probably going to be the only one that's near that building. So if I'm the first one in the building, if I see that there's no doors that are open, which is why I close the door behind me usually. If there's doors open and I walk into a building, I'm a little more cautious because there might be somebody in the building. If I start seeing open containers when I walk in the building with an open door, I'm going to assume there's somebody close by. If the doors are closed and there's open containers inside, then somebody was in here. Either they're still here or they were here before. So you have to be more cautious, right? That's how it works. But if there's nothing disturbed in there and I'm picking up loot that seems to be useful and there's no doors open, then I'm like, nobody was in here. There's nobody in here. If they are, then they just are terrible at looting, right? They're terrible at looting. They didn't pick stuff up. They didn't even open up the boxes, stuff like that, right? So there's probably nobody there. But then you start to hear footsteps. Players' footsteps sound different than the UNSC's UESC, I think it is, whatever. The NPC's footsteps are different than players' footsteps. So that's what you use. You're like, oh, that's a player. I can hear that that's a player. That's not just a robot walking around super clunky, stomping his feet all around. That's not a player. So you can hear the difference in the players and the NPCs. Like, that's information. So if you're giving up your information to let somebody know where you are because you don't want it to be unfair that they walk into the room and you blast their head off with a shotgun, then it's just like, what? And it's like, if you're good at the game. If you're good at the game, that doesn't mean that you have to move around so that people don't be like, oh, you're ratting because you're not moving around. You're not making it easier for me. That's what that sound like to me.
I feel like that's going to frustrate many players.
Oh well. You know what frustrates players? Losing. That's what's frustrating. Losing.
7 hours playing, I've definitely seen people taking full use of the active camouflage. You combine that with a smoke and you actually go invisible even if you drop a smoke grenade. So my character's ability lets me go invisible every 70 seconds, but if I bring say 3 or 4 smoke grenades and I drop one, I'm invisible while I'm inside it. That means I can
Yes. So what you're saying is you're mobile ratting. You're bringing the ratting along with you. So somebody can't hide in a corner because that's ratting. But if you throw smoke grenades, go invisible, and then have a shotgun, that's not ratting because you're outside in a smoke cloud where nobody can see you and they can't fight back. That's better. That's a better thing to do than running into a building and then catching somebody slipping because they didn't clear the corner.
go invisible say 5, 6, even 7 times, which is very unbalanced.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's so much better than somebody ratting, right?
With a shotgun, because people are usually curious. If I really want to be a rat, I'll bring a self-revive, example on screen here, and really, on the whole, if you want to make yourself borderline invincible, there are definitely ways to do that on Marathon. Whether that's going to be a good thing for the game's longevity, we will see, but even on a Thursday, and I know some people will point this out, 140,000 people on Steam tried out the free preview. I'm sure this will go up over the weekend, but that is what I noticed so far. Now, on the whole, and you guys will find this very funny, when the first Marathon Alpha came around, my mum actually saw Marathon. When I was running around Tau Ceti, she was like, wow, that looks so horrible and bland. Well guys, I showed Mama Blitz the updated Marathon and she said, wow, that looks so much more vibrant. So I guess it passed her test. Personally, I think the game looks much better. It's a lot more vibrant and it's a lot closer to what we saw in the pre-release material. I'm curious as to what you guys have to say about the visuals, but really,
I think the game looks way better. I don't even actually remember what the alpha looks like. Marathon. What is? This was 4 months ago.
We want the AI to be more intelligent. We don't want them to just fall over. As for the new enemies, that was to be expected. Of course, we are going to get the aliens from the original Marathon trilogy. Not sure if this is what they're referencing here.
There's what? This looks just like now. Like, hold on. Wait, maybe I don't know. Hold on. Wait. There has to be. I feel like the game did look more bland before. Oh, it does look more bland. Okay, it does. I'm trying to find yeah, it does. So it does look more bland. Yes, it does look more bland. Okay. The colors weren't as great back then. They definitely turned up the saturation on the color.
my game open for about 5 hours. It went down by about 10 FPS, which isn't too bad. While we are talking about frame rate, the frame rate stayed Blitz the updated Marathon, and she said, wow, that looks so much more vibrant. So I guess it passed her test. Personally, I think the game looks much better. It's a lot more vibrant and it's a lot closer to what we saw in the pre-release material. I'm curious as to what you guys have to say about the visuals, but really, I liked it. For context, what you guys are watching on screen is only medium graphics, and I think the game looks quite good for that. In terms of performance, I was getting about 80 to 90 FPS once I had my game.
I don't even know what my graphics are set to. What are my graphics set to? Real fast. Video. Advanced graphics, custom. Oh, I have NVIDIA DLA. Highest. Okay. Additional video. NVIDIA reflex on plus boost, which I should have probably had on. Apply. Chromatic aberration I left on. I mean, you could probably turn that off, but UI refresh rate high. Motion blur is on. Light shafts high. Highest. Foliage detail. Character detail distance. Shadow quality highest. Okay, yeah. Frame rate cap off. VSync on. You turn off VSync and see. I'm gonna turn VSync off and see if I get higher frame rate or something. I'm not sure if I am or not, but we'll see.
Open for about 5 hours. It went down by about 10 FPS, which isn't too bad. While we are talking about frame rate, the frame rate stayed stable. I didn't have any big frame drops or stuttering, which is really great to see. I also didn't have the game crash a single time, and that included me taking an hour break for lunch. I came back, I didn't even reload the game, I just jumped straight back in and played. There was very little bugs, the performance was great. On a technical level, Bungie has done a very, very good job. I recognize that Marathon isn't going to be for everyone. I understand it's a different genre than Bungie is used to. Destiny and Halo being first-person shooters, and now you have Marathon, but I do feel like this game is going to
Marathon is a first-person shooter. I'm trying to. I would try to give him some grace and be like, you know, he probably meant that they're used to like maybe like arena shooters or story-based, shooters, and like Destiny is Destiny MMO style thing, but it's like not what they're used to. It's just like they had to take what they know about FPS games and then make an extraction shooter, but apply all of their knowledge and experience with FPS games into an extraction shooter. They have plenty of experience, and they have the other modes and other game types that they've either created for Destiny, right? So they have some experience in making like PvP modes and stuff like that, right? Like, of course, like Halo PvP modes, but you don't lose your gear in Halo. You just, I mean, like, you do drop your weapon, I guess. You could drop your weapon if somebody pick up your weapon, but, you know.
Have some longevity. Opinions of Bungie aside, I know there are a lot of developers who have put in years of work on this project, and I'm glad it's come to fruition. In terms of the features we asked for that Bungie added into the game, namely solo queue, proximity voice chat, as well as changes to the combat, I feel like all three hit the mark. I actually matched some people who recognized me from Halo, and they were hilarious.
Truly.
Yeah, you goddamn right, how are ya? I'm just trying to play Marathon to win some f***ing money. I recognize that username.
Nah, he's working out.
It's that guy. It's that guy from the computer. He's Mr. Green Man. I know this guy.
And I really feel like proximity voice chat adds so much soul to the game. That psychology aspect is so important because
it's not even that it adds so much to the game. It needs to be in the game. You need proximity, even though I have not been using proximity voice chat really much. Because I'm just in my I want to shoot people mode, and I'm not trying to like talk to nobody yet. But I feel like I'm gonna have to. Like, I feel like I'm gonna have to be like, hey man, listen, hear me out. Hear me out. let me do this mission, please. I've been trying to do this mission. If you look, you can go your way and I'll go my way. Don't come near me. You come near me, I'll blast you. So if you come near me, we fighting, but I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna let you live. Like,
Because if you're playing solos, I went out of my way numerous times to see if I could be friendly with people, and about 50% of the time they said yes. The final thing I'll say, and it is about the combat, the time to kill is very quick now, and some people
And it's good that it's 50% of the time and not like 96% of the time or 99% of the time they say yes. 50%. The one weird interaction I had with somebody, I decided, I was like, I can choose whether I want to say something to this person, like, yo, you want to work together? But I just like, you know what? I'm not even going to say nothing. I'm going to walk in here and I'm going to challenge this person. I'm going to open this door and I'm going to blast him in the face. And that's what I did. And I didn't feel bad about it. Oh, I felt a tiny bit bad about it, but I didn't feel bad about it.
Want it to be a tad longer than it is at the moment, but I don't think Bungie should change it. You need to have the viability that a beginner level player can actually defeat someone with superior gear. I'm not sure if there's skill-based matchmaking. I know there.
No. If the person is a better player and has better gear, they're most likely not going to lose to somebody who is not as good, because that not as good person is probably not going to have good gear. So if you're not as good and you don't have as good gear and you want the better player to lose or to be able to lose, then you're okay with ratting, because that's how people who are not as good beat people who are better. You rat, or you just hide, listen for their footsteps, and jump on them when the opportunity arises. But you do that with anyone. That's how you play the game. Like, I mean, if you want to be super aggressive and you want to run around and you want to just run into places and you feel like you can win the fight, even if you ran through and they heard you were coming and you didn't know they were there, then by all means, do what you do. But it's smarter to, if you hear someone, stop moving and listen for where their footsteps are coming from, so that you can assess the situation and approach them properly to win the fight. Like,
there is region-based matchmaking, as I said, but I noticed when I played, I ran into a whole different sleuth of skill levels, and I'll admit, I quite enjoyed my time playing. After playing for 7 hours, I would give Marathon a 7 out of 10, which basically summed up is slightly above average. I'm hoping to sink more time into the game to get a more refined opinion. They are my first impressions.
That's crazy.
My brutal thoughts about the
He said Australia were sweaty and they were good. Why would you walk into the smoke and then not look in the little tiny crevices and corners? Like,
Bungie have polished the game up well enough that I think players will be very happy with it if you enjoy the genre. No, I don't think it's going to be for everybody, but I'm curious to see where the game is going to go from here. I want to see it evolve. I want to see it change. I want to see the PvE narrative unfold. I do quite like fighting the AI as well. They're formidable, not pushovers, but it's a good balance. There's also enough...
No, they're not. No, they're not. They're not. They're not balanced. It's not balanced. Bro, like, maybe when you're playing with other players, it's good. When you're playing solo and you run into a group of NPCs, it is not a good time, because one of them has a shield and is super beefy. The other ones are too beefy and they run and they're very aggressive, and then they won't attack you when they need to. I guess they're smart. So if you try to extract, they just stay near the extract point and they just gun you down. And then they have the nerve to try to down you permanently after they already put you down. Then they just start putting their tentacles in your character and like sucking away your life force or whatever. Like,
objectives on the map where I feel like I'm actually doing stuff and it's not super duper repetitive. I do feel like there needs to be more maps though. The reason why I say that is it's $40 American, $70 Australian, and I truly don't know if Marathon is worth that price tag. Yes, I quite enjoy the game.
I think it's worth $40. It's pretty much the same package as Arc Raiders. pretty much the same package, probably a little bit more, probably a little bit more. And I'm not talking about I'm not talking about this at release versus what Arc Raiders is now. I'm talking about both of these games at release. Probably the same package, maybe more.
Game. I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I feel like Halo Infinite multiplayer offered more replayability than Marathon, and Halo
Okay. Halo Infinite multiplayer offering more replayability than Marathon at release. Both of them at release. Because I hope you're not counting user-generated content, because I don't even think that was at release. It definitely wasn't at release. The only thing I like to play in Halo Infinite multiplayer is whatever the standard TDM game mode is. Maybe like domination, or if that I don't remember if that's there or not, but like the standard like FPS modes. I don't like all of the random I don't care for all of the random other modes where it's like, oh, shoddy snipers and stuff like that, or snipers only and stuff like those type of modes. Those are fun to play around, but they be putting quests where you have to play those modes, and I'm like, yo, y'all can eat a dick. Y'all not going to get on here and force me to play these random modes when I just want to play some regular Halo. I just want to play some regular TDM, some regular like free for all, and you can still do that, but like to get all the experience points and to do your challenges or whatever, you have to play all these other random modes rather than them just letting you play anything to get the challenges done. Instead of having challenges that are universal throughout all of the different modes, they have challenges that are specific to certain modes. And it's like, don't do that. Don't do that. Have universal challenges that are universal to every mode. That way, I might actually hop on some shoddy snipers just for fun or whatever and still make progress toward my challenges. Or I just want to play some regular TDM. I'm just going to play regular Slayer, right? Like, and then just play Slayer, and make progress towards my whatever I'm playing. I should be making progress towards the stuff that I'm doing, because that's how you keep players. If you want to keep players on your game, you give them tasks, you give them things to do, but you make them universal throughout all the games so that everybody can finish the task, and if somebody is not ignoring the tasks because they're like, I don't want to play those modes. Because everybody that plays Halo doesn't want to play every mode. Same way people that play Call of Duty don't play every single mode that exists all the time.
Halo Infinite was free. Marathon is $40. Overall, I'll definitely...
Halo Infinite was free. Halo Infinite multiplayer was free. Halo Infinite was not free. Halo Infinite multiplayer was free. Halo Infinite is not free. But these are also two different games. I also don't want this game to be free because of cheaters. There's always going to be cheaters, but when you make the game free, you're going to get more cheaters, and it's going to be hard to hold them off, because if you even ban them, they'll just make a new account, get back on, and just cheat more, because they live for the cheating. They don't care about their account. Why would you care about your account if you were on God mode all the time? Like, it's like, oh, my account got banned, I'll just make another account. Just keep playing.
Definitely add Marathon into my rotation of games I play. I'm going to be covering the game all this week as I get better and better at it. We're going to do a video about the visuals. I'll do an official review at the end of the week. I am going to cover the most overpowered classes and how you can quickly level up. It's going to be a great week. So there are my first thoughts on Marathon. First 7 hours of playing the game. I would love to see some balancing tweaks here and there, but we'll see what happens overall. If you played Marathon, let me know what you think down in the comments below.
So far, the only balancing things that I think need to be changed, but hear me out. I I don't know everything, but just from my experience personally, I think that the NPCs need to be toned down just a tad. I don't want them to be pushovers, but I also don't want them to be so ridiculous that like you shoot them and now I'm in an all-out war with the UESC, and then I've killed them all, I've run out of ammo, and now somebody runs up and kills me and I can't fight them back even though I see them first. Like, it's just that is what irks me. Maybe there needs to be more ammo drops. Maybe UESC needs to always drop ammo or something like that. I feel like if you're gonna have them be this strong, they need to drop ammo all the time. They need to drop their guns all the time so that you can always have guns to pick up from killing them, because it's so many of them and it's so hard to fight them if it's a lot of them, that you need to have extra guns and extra ammo. And if you're killing them, you need to be able to get ammo to replenish your ammo so that you can continue to fight them. And then also, after they're all beaten, you pick up the rest of the ammo and you can still fight somebody if they third party you. Like, that needs to be a thing.
Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys later.
I'm hungry as hell. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm probably still gonna be playing the game after I get off stream, but I'm hungry. I need to go get something to eat. I'll catch y'all later. I'll be on tomorrow playing more Marathon. All right, peace.